Hello, what's up? I am back. It's been a week since I recorded a video. I've been going live for a couple while, but it's been a while since I recorded a video, and I have the perfect opportunity right now, or like the perfect video to record right now, as this is the end of the month. This is the end of also 2024, and I have watched a lot of movies this year. Most of them are from Hollywood, some of them are from Bollywood, and as I'm an avid movie lover or a movie watcher, I love to watch movies. I just literally love to watch movies. So I'll be ranking all the movies that I watched in 2024 in a tier list, like in the ranking system in the tier list. And I watched a lot of movies in theaters, so I'll just be ranking the movies that I watched in theaters. So without any further ado, let's start. So the first movie that I watched this year in the theaters was Dune 2. Man, I can't speak enough praise for this movie. I just love this movie very much. The visuals, awesome. The dialogue, the cinematography, the dialogues, the fight scenes, everything was just brilliant. I just loved it. This was like a feast to the eyes and like the mind, just so beautiful to look at. And I was just sitting there in the perfect seats in the IMAX, and just the big screen was just in front of me, and I was like imbibing all of it. Just loved it. Loved Dune 2, man. This goes straight to the S tier, man. This deserves a straight S. Then the next movie that I watched this year was Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Again, a very very fun movie. Super fun movie. Absolutely, like, this was a fun movie. There were like all these different monsters, and all of them were just fighting with each other. Who doesn't love to see that? Who doesn't love that? I especially do. So for me, this goes to a straight A. Then first is Swatantra Veer Savarkar. A good movie. You can definitely give it a watch. And this is about the freedom fighter Veer Savarkar, and this is his story. This is his part of the whole Indian independence struggle, and you can definitely give it a watch. A good movie. So for me, this goes on a straight B. Then I saw Madgaon Express. We all know, a fun adventure movie, a fun movie for the Indian cinemas. Again, a straight B, like a good Indian movie. Then we have Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. Boring. The most boring movie I watched this year. Like, literally. Super boring. I'm even yawning right now. Just even thinking about this. Very boring movie. I've never felt this, but I felt this while watching this movie, and that was to get out of there. Like, I've never felt this before. This was the first time. Like, I was just watching this movie and I was like, so boring. I don't want to watch it. But anyway, super boring movie. Straight D tier, man. Very boring movie. Then the next was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, I haven't watched any Planet of the Apes movie prior to this. This is the first Planet of the Apes movie, and I liked it. I liked it a lot, and it was a fun movie, great movie. And comparing with, like, again, Godzilla with Kong, because we have these monsters. In apes we do not have these monsters. We just have monkeys and different kind of apes. In that creature genre, a fun movie, absolutely. Like, you can give it a watch. So straight B. Then we have Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Man, I loved this movie. Great movie. The visuals, brilliant. So I actually watched Mad Max Fury Road after Furiosa, and so my first introduction to the Mad Max world was through Furiosa. It was a great movie. I loved the whole world building. I loved these different characters, these different humans in there, and it was just fun. So straight A, straight A. Then I saw Bad Boys Ride or Die. Again, a fun adventure buddy cop movie. Great action, great scenes. Just it was a fun movie to watch. So goes to a straight B. Then Quiet Place Day One. I was kind of disappointed in this one. I kind of felt this would be more, you know, enticing movie to watch because I had watched Quiet Place, the first movie, and it was quite good. This movie, however, felt a little boring, felt a little, you know, felt a little OTT. This felt a little, could have been skipped or like could have been made better. So this goes to C tier. Then this is an Indian film, that is Kalki 2898 AD, which is I think the first big budget Indians like this sci-fi CGI film, and for that this movie has done pretty great with its story, with its CGI, with its all these effects. Great, that was great leap for Indian cinema. So this deserves a solid B, solid B. Then I watched Kill, that is another Bollywood movie, and this movie was just action sequences, just action fights throughout the train, and again a solid movie. Loved this. The action sequences were great, and great acting from both the lead roles. So again a solid B for Kill. Then I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, the most anticipated movie of this year, Deadpool and Wolverine. So, I mean, everybody loved those cameos, everybody loved the story, everybody loved it, even I loved it. So, what more is to say about this? I mean, straight A. Then I watched Tumbad, which is, I mean, this was the re-release. I had not watched this movie when it first came out, as I was unaware, and I watched it and I watched it this year, and I mean, this is a great movie. You have to watch this movie. This is a great movie. So this for me deserves a solid A. Solid A. So this story is basically just about some creepy stuff going on in a village associated with something supernatural things. So it's a great movie. Definitely give it a watch. Then there is horrifying, and that is Joker Folie Due. Why? I mean, why did they even create this movie, man? I mean, boring. Don't watch this movie, please. Straight D tier. Just get this off, man. Super boring movie. Then I watched Transformers 1. This was a great movie, man. This was a great movie. Amazing movie. And again, I haven't watched like much Transformer movies, so this was my essentially like a, I mean, sure, I know some characters, but I haven't watched Transformers that much. So a great movie. Loved this. Chris Hemsworth was good in the voice acting, and the animation was smooth, man. Loved it. Characters were great. So straight A, man. Straight A. Then I watched Venom: The Last Dance, which is the last film in the Venom saga as we know of. So I mean, a decent ending, and I mean, good stuff, man. Good stuff. And I mean, you can obviously check out my review on Venom: The Last Dance. It's on my channel, so have a look at it and you'll know. So I'll give it a solid B, a great B. And then I watched Singham again, which was like okay, nothing much. It tried to be too grand for itself, and which just didn't quite fit in. So solid C. Then I watched Gladiator 2. Even this was a good film. Gladiator 2 is a good film. Even like my reviews out on my channel of Gladiator 2. You can give it a watch. Gladiator 2 is a good movie. A good movie. And personally for me it deserves a good A, especially for this year. And then the last film of 2024 that I watched is Pushpa 2, which you all know. Just it was, I mean, everybody was there for the hype. Everybody is there for the hype of Pushpa 2, and I mean, yeah, it was a decent movie. Nothing much to expect, and yeah, so a solid C for me, comparing to all the movies that I watched. And I didn't. Hello, I'm from the future, and that wasn't the last film that I saw. I watched one more film in the theaters, and that is Lord of the Rings: The War for the Rohirrim. And now this movie, especially as it came in the end of the year, I'd say it was a good filler. It was a good kind of an end to the movies that I saw this year. It was a good, I mean, a decent conclusion, if not the best. And I mean, I haven't recorded a review for this movie, so I think I'll just review it and also rank it in the same video. So basically, this movie is of course connected to The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings series, and especially this movie is like an animated prequel to all the Hobbit movies and all the Lord of the Rings movies that we saw. This movie had some good content in it. In speaking in a broader sense, it just gives us the why the name of the Helm's Deep came to being, like what was the reason behind Helm's Deep being called Helm's Deep. So it's a story about that, and it's a story about a clan who is fighting for its survival, who's just living up to their ancestors, or who's just living up to their own kind of creed and their own people, and what being from that clan means basically. And the main character in this movie is a female warrior, and I forgot her name, but it's about her story of how she uplifts, or like stays through her family name, and how it's a warrior story. And it's basically your kind of Athena storyline mixed with LOTR. So it's a good and decent story. You can definitely watch it. It's a good, pastime, if you were to say one. And this is a concise story. I mean, if you were to look at it, it's like basically the story is 2 or 3 pages long, but it's kind of like stretched into a whole 2 hour movie. If I were to say, it's like you don't get so many wheels going on, because this is just a one-off thing. This is not like a 2 or 3 part series, especially with the Lord of the Rings series, which is the case. But this is just a one installment in and on itself, so it has to start and it has to just end. So it was that. And I also think this opens a good gates good open this opens a good opportunity for many more Lord of the Rings prequels or like sequels to be done in this animated form. I'm all up for it. I'll give it a look, because I'm interested in this whole world of hobbits and elves and dwarfs and wizards and all these great things. So I mean, I love Lord of the Rings. I love The Hobbit. I love the Lord of the Rings. I love the whole world that has been put together so intricately, and how it's connected to one another, and the history behind it. I mean, I do not know of the history. I just know about what the movies were, and it was a great movie. So I mean, yeah, I'll give it a good B. It was a fun movie to watch, and it deserves a good B on the tier list. So yeah. So yeah, that was my ranking for the movies that I watched this year in the theaters. Now the next year is a big year for especially superhero movies, or especially comic book movies. So looking forward to that. And that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next.